All right. I've never played Contradiction before. I don't know very much about it, although from the box art and the subtitle of the game, I assume that it's trying to ape those like mid-90s, early aughts FMV murder mystery games, of which there are several. There's like Titanic Adventure Out of Time and The Last Express. There's a couple that were based on like TV properties. I played some modern FMV real actor games like Her Story and Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker, but they don't seem to be like intentionally aping the kind of cheesy aesthetic of the 90s games. So that's what I assume this is going to be. I'm excited to check it out. Let's start it here. There is a thing on the title screen here for watch prologue in case background info. I'm guessing that's going to happen anyway if I just start the game. So I'm just going to start the game.
My name is Jenks. Detective Inspector Frederick Jenks, and I've been assigned to a last-minute investigation into the death of Kate Vine, a PhD student found drowned at midnight last Friday in a lake in the woods on the outskirts of the tiny village of Edenton. I have until first thing tomorrow morning to decide whether her death was a simple accident or whether this was murder. Kate Vine appeared to the world to be a bright, confident, fun-loving PhD student with everything to live for.
Fun-loving, not fun-loving.
A history of depression and alcoholism revealed in her medical records suggests that in reality, she had become adept at hiding behind a mask. A lab report indicating a high level of alcohol in her blood, along with the late hour of her death and a lack of witnesses, makes a strong case that this was suicide. But the verdict
There was misadventure.
overlooks some curious details. Why was her driving license found on the opposite side of the lake in which she drowned? Also, there were traces of morphine in Kate's system. Where did she get it? Kate was known to be a free spirit with a nihilistic love of danger, which may, in part, have something to do with a business course called Atlas, which Kate had joined and which she had been attending on the night of her death. Based in a large, stately home on the outskirts of the village, the exclusive Atlas is run by father and son team, Paul and Ryan Rand. Both were interviewed following Kate's death, but neither claimed to have seen Kate after the meeting, and both were understandably eager to distance themselves and Atlas from the tragedy. This isn't the first time that Atlas has been investigated. Atlas and their questionable methods, which many have suggested border on mind control.
Okay.
Ryan is married to Rebecca, landlady of Edenton's village pub, the George and Dragon. As yet, she hasn't been interviewed, though it's likely Kate visited the pub on more than one occasion. One of Kate's friends was Emma Bowman, who lives at Eden Lodge on the road leading out of Edenton Village. Emma was also doing a PhD at the same university, but didn't attend Atlas. Interviewed after Kate's death, Emma seemed shocked and upset, insisting she hadn't seen Kate that night. However, it turned out her boyfriend had. Simon Thompson met Emma at university. After completing his degree around 18 months ago, he went to work at a shop in the neighboring village. He started at the Atlas course a few months ago. Simon insisted that he didn't see Kate after the meeting, but the sergeant interviewing him noted he seemed oddly unmoved by her death, which makes him the first person I want to see tonight. It's time for some answers.
Did a pretty good job with the tone. Yeah, right. Welcome to Edenton Village. Click the arrows to move around the village. You see a magnifying glass. Try to investigate. Okay. The inventory item to see your collected items. Physical objects and information Jenks has collected. Try the use icon. These are ideas. Driving license. Listens. Try using this. There's no use for the license here. Found in the woods. Click a pin or move left and right with the controller and press select to move to that location. Oh, this game supports controller? I just assumed it would be mouse only. Let me see if I can do that, because I'd prefer that. Go to the pub. Why not? Continue along the path.
Always nice to randomly find a key on the floor.
True.
Wow, isn't that interesting?
Scientology type stuff. Let's go left along Woods Lane. Eden Lodge.
Is it Simon?
Yeah.
Detective Inspector Jenks. I'm investigating an incident in the village. Could I come in and ask you a few questions, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We can just go through here if you want. Emma's working in the front room.
Hi.
This is Inspector James.
Jenks.
What's all this about?
There was a death in the village. Kate Vine, I believe you both knew her.
Yeah. Do you need to speak to both of us?
I'll just speak to Simon first, if that's okay.
Just come through. Is it okay in here?
Oh, this will be fine, yeah.
There's no cool
Do you want
mirror in
anything?
this room.
Water?
Though.
No, I won't be long.
Okay.
First interview. Pick an item you want to ask about. Click Ask to see Jenks ask about it. For the reply, you'll see a summary of what was said in the box at the bottom. Clicking an item you've already asked about shows the summary of replies underneath. Click a reply to add it to the contradiction box on the right. You can add 2 replies at the same time. Oh, that's kind of cool. Start looking for contradictions. Right, so stick left right to choose item. Weird. Kate Vine's death.
When was the last time you saw Kate Vine?
So last Friday's meeting, I think.
Did you see her after the meeting?
No.
How long have you known Kate?
That would be when we started Atlas. 3 months ago?
Did you socialise outside Atlas?
You guys do much shrugging?
How would you describe her? What sort of person was she?
Well, she's talented. She was full of life, you know? Sharp, quite sharp.
Would you say she had any emotional problems?
Her mood could change. And, well, there was the drinking problem.
When did you become aware of that?
Well, she would come drunk to meetings sometimes. She would reek of the stuff. I mean, everyone knew, but nobody really said anything.
So, tell me a bit about Atlas.
Oh, it's just a business management training program for postgrads.
And you started this after you left college?
Yeah.
And it's on every Friday?
Yeah, well, my group isn't doing it this Friday, but one of the groups is.
Okay, thanks.
Last saw Kate last Friday. Only known Kate for 3 months. Didn't socialize with Kate outside of Atlas. Kate often seemed drunk at Atlas.
Did you know whether Kate had lost Bliss or not?
No.
They shot things in such a way to make it easier to...
No, I don't think so. I've never seen it before.
Doesn't know anything about the license. Okay, I think that's all I got here. Visit
Thank
Emma.
you. I'll probably be back later.
Don't worry, it's only a few questions.
Yeah.
They shot a lot of these so that like they could change what the item is, or so that they're not both in frame, so they could do their takes separately. All right, Kate Vine's death.
When was the last time you saw Kate Vine?
It was last Thursday in the college library. I saw her and we chatted for a bit. She seemed her usual self.
What was her usual self?
Oh, just Kate being Kate. You know, a bit wild.
Wild? In what way wild?
Oh, she just used to question everything, you know. Have arguments with the lecturers, things like that.
What else?
Kate had a drink problem.
How noticeable was that?
Well, it wasn't at first, but as the year went on, she'd be drunk in the afternoon. But I think she cut down, you know, towards the end of college and when she started her PhD.
Driving license.
Did you know whether Kate had lost this or not?
I don't know, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Doesn't think Kate lost her driving license. Library on Thursday, usual self. Argumentative. Had a drink problem. Didn't see her very often. Okay, nothing I can do with that just yet then, so I guess it's time to go. It isn't worth asking about the key.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
I'll be back.
Best to knock on the window for Emma. Simon always answers the front door.
Done a pretty good job with this, though. Definitely feels like those older games, but it's much cleaner UI, and I assume there's no weird things like a time limit like in Titanic Adventure Out of Time. To Atlas's grounds.
Have to come back later, I think.
Fair enough. If they got filming permission for all of this. Lake Junction. This is where the body was found, right?
Looks like a piece of jewellery there, stuck between the boards. Well and truly
You're gonna
wedged
need a
in.
tool for that, buddy. We went here before and got stuck, yeah. Okay. That's where I got the key. Village Center. Pub is presumably still closed. Yeah, okay. Down behind Brandon House. Nothing to find here. This guy's shoes. Call the chief. Phones and booths now? I need to keep lugging this cell phone around. Fair enough. It went behind Brandon House. So maybe I need to do more in the Eden Lodge. I didn't think any of them had any obvious contradictions yet, but maybe I gotta say something, you know? Hasn't been able to use the key yet, as far as I can tell. Yeah, let me just make sure there's not anyone else I can talk to. Junction's dead too, fair enough. Atlas I can't do anything with, so I guess there must be some contradiction to call out with the the couple from earlier.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Why does she often seem drunk if you've only known her for a short amount of time? That's the only thing I can think of, but it's not a very strong contradiction, you know? And if I select those, can I do something with the contradiction in the corner there? Or no? Or does it fade out if it's not the proper combination? Something will happen if you combine them properly. Okay. Otherwise it'll gray out, basically.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
Presumably it has to be Emma then. None of the other ones make sense. Oh, there's a thing to
A few more
investigate
questions,
outside.
if you
Let
don't-
me try
okay,
that.
that's it for now. Thank you. Very trusting, leaving a bike unlocked. Looks like homebrew equipment. Ah, this might come in handy.
Hooray! Progress. Just straight up stealing the screwdriver. Sorry, dear, haven't played
I
it
thought
before.
forensics had checked the whole area. Obviously not very well.
Broken pendant. Box of bottles. Unlocked bicycle. I need to kind of get a sense of what the game's expecting of me right now, too, because... Let me see if I can bring up either of those
Couple
things
more
in
questions, if
conversation
that's
now.
okay.
Oh, wow. I've got a whole bunch of extra stuff now.
Whose is the bike outside?
Oh, that's my cousin's. He lent me it. I need to buy a new lock for it, though.
So it's your bike at the moment.
Yeah. There's no bus service to speak of around here, so it's really the only way to get around.
How is it the only way you can get to work? How'd you get to work before that? Okay, I guess that isn't it. It's not worth it's not worth asking about the screwdriver you stole.
I noticed a lot of bottles outside. Are they yours?
Yeah, I make homebrew.
For yourself?
Well, no, I give it out to my friends and stuff. I tried selling it at first, but I didn't have any takers, except for James over at Farmhouse. I used to trade it to him for herbs and stuff.
Do you see James a lot?
No, not really.
Tell me about the homebrew.
Recognize this at all?
It does remind me of something. I don't know. I've seen it somewhere, but I don't know.
Thanks, dude. I select contradictions from across different objects, possibly. Vaguely recognizes. Told me about the homebrew. Tried selling it, but only sold to James. Doesn't see James very often. She doesn't have that pendant visible in the picture, so that's not part of it. I don't think any of these obviously match, so we'll go talk to Emma,
Thank
I
you.
guess.
Probably be back later. Whose is the bike outside?
Oh, it's Simon's cousin's. He uses it to get to work.
You know the lock's broken.
Oh, I know. I keep telling him to fix it.
Keeps telling Simon to fix the lock.
What's the stack of bottles outside?
Oh, that's all Simon's stuff. You better ask him. I don't know.
Ever seen this?
Looks like, that's my old necklace. I gave this to Kate.
So Kate might have been wearing it last Friday.
Yeah, well, perhaps, but I can't see why. She was always buying new things, you know, lots of jewellery, stuff like that. It's meant to be a bird in cage, but the cage's fallen off. Oh, I'll show you.
Where did you buy it?
I didn't. Some wanted present.
Secret admirer.
Not so secret.
I see.
That's how it should have looked. It's called a freedom necklace.
Do you mind if I keep this?
No, not at all.
So the necklace
Interesting.
did belong to Kate. Interesting. I'm starting to wish I'd brought a spare evidence bag. Have you ever tried Simon's homebrew?
Me? No. I don't like beer. I only drink wine. I can't stand spirits either.
Doesn't like beer, only drinks wine, and hates spirits. Emma's when she gave it to Kate. Necklace was an unwanted gift. Kate bought lots of jewelry. Bottles belong to Simon. And I assume that I can't get contradictions from across two people's lists. We didn't see her very often. What are you doing giving her a necklace for? Nope.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
I can try using the... You haven't asked Simon about the Freedom Necklace card. Okay.
A few more questions, please. Thank you. You know what this is?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Emma had one like it. Actually, you know what? Kate had one. I remember because I asked her about it one night when we were all out drinking in college. I was probably pretty drunk.
That's what college is all about.
Didn't you just say you didn't recognize it? Ask about the necklace instead of the pendant. Okay.
Aha.
Ah.
So how
There
did
it
you
worked. I
know
needed to
Kate
see
was
one of
wearing a
those.
freedom necklace 18 months ago? At college?
Well, I knew Kate at college, but I didn't get to know her till we started Atlas.
Master.
Right. So you didn't socialise with her at college?
No.
And you didn't socialise with her outside of Atlas?
No.
You didn't see her outside Atlas at all?
No. Not at all.
No cheats used.
So Simon did know Kate at college, but why would he lie about that? Maybe he knows Kate better than he's willing to admit. 6 o'clock. I wonder if Rebecca's working in the pub tonight.
Press the bell.
Sorry, what can I get you?
The Detective Inspector Jenks. Rebecca, is it?
Yeah.
There's been an incident in the village. I'm conducting an investigation. Could I ask you a few questions, please?
Right. Come through.
Thank you.
What's it about?
There's been an unexplained death locally. Not sure if you've heard.
The student?
Yes.
Yes, it was dreadful news.
You're married to
Read
Ryan,
about it in the
one of the
paper.
Atlas leaders, yes?
I suppose I am, yes.
Well, I just wanted to ask a few questions about Kate and Atlas, if that's okay.
I don't know if I'll be able to answer any of them, but sure.
Look at all these questions I can ask. Wonderful.
Did you know Kate?
Not very well. She came in a few times, but she was quite a moody person. You could tell she had problems.
When was the last time you saw her?
Friday. She popped in for a minute.
And when was that?
7-ish.
Was she on her own?
I didn't see who she was with. She put £20 on the bar and then left.
What was that for?
A breakage, presumably.
£20? Just for a beer glass?
Well, she was very drunk. She just put it on the bar and then walked out.
Was there a broken glass?
Not that I noticed. But she was a strange girl.
PM didn't see who Kate was with. Okay, so yeah, contradictions will always be for an individual character, although maybe conflicting testimony from being different people I'll use for other purposes later on.
Have you seen this before?
No, sorry.
So you didn't know if Kate had lost it?
No idea.
Hasn't seen the license before. She's a bartender. Has she never shown it before?
Know anything about Simon Thompson's homebrew?
Does he make homebrew?
Apparently.
No, we do buy from a microbrewery, but we don't usually buy from kitchen breweries.
It's fair. Doesn't buy from kitchen breweries.
Do you recognize this?
I've seen students wearing them. Has some sort of meaning, doesn't it? I forget what it is now.
Seen anyone wearing one recently?
Not that I can remember.
Necklace has some sort of meaning. Hasn't seen anyone wearing one. Okay. Very drunk. Hasn't seen the license. Curious if any of these are going to require external information, like knowing that the bartender might be asking for IDs. It's part of the formula that I'm not sure about just yet. I think that's all I got from her for right now.
That's all for the moment, thank you.
Go to the restaurant. Nothing to find here. The actor playing the detective is clearly having a really fun time.
A broken window. Recently smashed by the look of it. Might have to ask about that.
What's up with the broken window? Nothing to find here. Can I use the key? Nice. It was a master lock, so I didn't really need a key. tape, and a spooky
Wonder
mask.
whose mask this is. Rebecca's or Ryan's? Just looks like junk, but it's too dark to tell.
Well, need a flashlight, apparently. Cardboard mask. Now, whose mask is this? What are you doing rifling around in our storage shed?
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Look at they fast forward through that.
Do you know what this is?
Oh, you'll have to ask Ryan about that.
So this is Ryan's.
It's to do with one of Ryan's methods on the course.
Go on.
Well, masks allow you to play at being someone different for a while. Students find it quite liberating.
So this would be for a student?
I'm enjoying it so
I
far.
think that one's Ryan's, but students do wear them, yes.
Thinks the mask is Ryan's. Masks allow students to roleplay.
How did the window get broken out round the back?
I don't actually know. Someone said two girls were arguing outside. I found out after they'd gone.
And when was this?
Last Friday, just after we opened, about 6:30. I taped over it until I can get it fixed. We don't want people getting cut and suing us.
Does that sort of thing happen a lot? Arguments?
No, not really. I'm quite strict when it comes to borrowing clients I don't think are, suitable.
Doesn't know who broke the window. Happened at 6:30. I feel like the usual Phoenix Wright rules apply, that anytime someone mentions something like a time or an orientation, left or right, or a color, like that's when you want to start raising your eyebrows. So 6:30 p.m. Saw Kate at 7 p.m. Those aren't contradicted here, but taped over the window to make it safer. Strict about barring clients. What about the whole Kate being super drunk thing? Nope. Let's see who Kate was with. We'll leave
Be
for
back
now.
later on, if that's okay.
Hey, Atomic, what's up? Oh, nothing back there. I don't know when I'm gonna need to call the chief. Somebody mentions him, maybe? As long as we're getting that sound, there's nothing. Oh, here we
Chief
go.
Jenks again. I've been speaking to Rebecca Rand. She saw Kate in the pub last Friday, around 7, I think. Says she came in drunk, gave us some money for a breakage or something, then left.
What, she just came in and then went straight out again? What did she break?
I don't know. Rebecca didn't know either, or so she said.
Doesn't sound right, does it? I mean, that money must have been for something. Quiz Rebecca, make a few suggestions, see if she bites. Simple as. Go on.
Okay, thanks, Chief.
Alright, so the chief gives you clues. Gotcha. That makes sense. I don't know if I have anything to quiz her on, or if I could have done this before selecting that.
Just a few more questions,
check
if
it
you
out.
don't mind.
$20 for breakage. Now, I don't need to push her on, so I assume I have to find something else about that first. So we'll leave the pub for now. I think I can only quiz her via new items or via pointing out a contradiction. Anything new in the woods? Oh, hi. Are you James?
Who is it? I'm a police officer, Detective Inspector Jenks. It's all right, you can carry on if you want to. I'm just going. I'm investigating a death in the village, Kate Vine. There was a death recently.
I knew her.
Well, could I ask you a few questions, please?
Bit dark.
Well, if you give me your name and address, I'll come later on. Where do you live?
Farmhouse.
And what's your name?
I wonder if they actually went to the trouble of filming all these areas at different hours of the day. It's kind of cool. Still can't get into Atlas, I assume. Oh, never mind. What's up?
Ryan was interviewed in the lounge, according to the report. That must be his office.
Name is Jenks, and I'd like to say... Really, nothing to find. Huh. Interesting. Oh, it's a farm marked on the map, okay. Maybe it just got marked because I ran into the stoner guy. I see the whole map somewhere? I don't think so.
According to the map, Abbey Farm is across the road there.
There's my answer. Look in the greenhouse. That's not weird.
Picture frames with black painted glass. Very interesting.
Wait, it doesn't take it 2 steps at a time on the way down.
Could I ask you a few more questions, please?
Didn't take you long.
Haven't got much time. Just close the doors, shall I?
Where do you want to sit?
Oh, anywhere's fine. I didn't quite catch your name.
James, sit there.
Thank you, James.
Why are you asking me about Kate Vine?
Routine.
You know Simon, don't you? Thompson.
Why, what did he say?
That you all went to college together, you and Kate. Is that right?
Might have done.
Right. Good enough. When was the last time you saw Kate Vine?
Can't remember.
How did you know her?
Through Simon. His girlfriend was mates with her. Saw her around college a few times.
Did you socialise with her much?
Nah. She wasn't my type.
Weird thing to say.
Did you know whether Kate had lost this or not?
No idea.
What do you know about Simon's bike?
What bike?
You haven't seen him on a bike?
I haven't seen him.
When was the last time you saw him?
About a month ago.
Have you ever tried Simon's homebrew?
Thompson's tar? Yeah, I've tried it.
Did he sell it?
Well, not to me, not for money anyway. We used to trade stuff.
What did you trade?
I make a nice herbal tea as it happens. Him and his girlfriend were into it.
What was his beer like?
That's what they meant by
Lethal.
herbs either.
Strong?
Knock your eyes out.
Ever seen one of these before? Freedom necklace.
Don't think so.
Know anything about a broken window at the pub?
Don't go to the pub.
You've never been to the pub?
Didn't say that. I've been to the pub, but not for about 2 months, 3 months.
Ever seen this before?
No, should I have?
No, it's okay. Now, what's all this stuff in the workshop? Paint and stencils and things like that?
Just a little sideline of mine.
Oh, you do picture framing?
They're black mirrors. Scrying mirrors.
Now, what's a scrying mirror?
Show you one if you want. Scrying goes back centuries. The ancient Persians did it. This country pagans still practice it. The fortune tellers pretend to do it. That's what the crystal ball's all about. It's all scrying. Mirror's just one way of doing it.
But what is scrying?
Depends who you are. People do it for different reasons.
What sort of reasons?
Exploring your mind, clearing your mind, communicating with the dead.
Hey, Johan.
Is that what you use them for, James? Communicating with the dead?
I only make them for other people these days.
And there's a market for these, is there?
Lots of people want to talk to the dead, even if they don't believe in it.
Do you make a profit on them?
I don't do it for the money.
How very charitable of you. Can I keep this?
Keep it.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Black mirrors and hookah pipes. I wonder what else James is into.
Sells the mirrors, it doesn't make a profit.
That's it for the time being. Thank you.
So I got more stuff to show Simon and Emma, presumably. Maybe Rebecca?
Ask about a few more things, please.
Nice, Johan.
Ever seen one of these?
Yeah, that's one of James's. He's into like New Age stuff, mysticism, magic spells, that sort of thing. He's nuts, though. I mean, he thinks the government are tracking him or something.
Why would he think that?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
James is into New Age mysticism.
Have a look at this. Know anything about that?
I haven't seen this one, but it looks a lot like an Atlas mask. We use them for some of the workshops and stuff.
Really? How?
Well, you have to say something boastful or arrogant. You do it first without the mask, and then you say it with a mask.
And the point is?
Well, it's easier when you have the mask on, isn't it? People are not as afraid to be free about themselves, you know?
How did you find out about Atlas?
Well, it was advertised. Actually, I think I've still got the...
Hey, loot.
This is the advert that was at my college. To be honest, I've learned more in 3 months at Atlas than I did in 3 years at business school.
Ooh.
Yeah, go for it.
I suppose that might be useful as a conversational starter.
I'm understanding that mechanic of collecting items in order to be able to have some crosstalk between characters.
Do you know anything about a broken window at the pub?
No, I don't really go to the pub very often. I'm not exactly a pub person.
Not a pub person.
Thank you. Probably
No.
be back later.
It wasn't done. I hit the wrong button. It's okay. I'll come back to her in a second.
What do you know about Atlas?
I know that it's a business course. I went with Simon when he first went, but it wasn't really my thing.
How often did you go?
Just the once.
And you decided it wasn't for you?
Yeah, I'd been to something similar, so decided it wasn't for me.
It's fun. They're kind of nailing the 90s FMV game cheese.
Have you seen one of these before?
Is that from James?
Now, what do you know about James?
That he's creepy. He was selling them last Friday at the market. There's a market every week type thing. And I usually go there for lunch.
So you wouldn't buy one of these?
No, I wouldn't. But Kate would.
Was she into this sort of thing?
No, I don't think so. She bought one, and I went round to her flat to try it out. You're meant to see ghosts or spirits or something. It doesn't work.
How do you use it?
You're just meant to stare into it. Shall I show you?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you just stare like this, and
Nothing
then you
happens.
See what?
Sorry, look, you're meant to see a ghost or something. Look, it doesn't work.
Spray painting a mirror black. It's like the golden shovels in Twin Peaks. Thanks, James is creepy.
Ever seen this before?
I live for him revealing the mask to people now.
Nope, I haven't, sorry. I think I'd have remembered it.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Shit, I did it again. Okay, it marks off the ones that you've already pointed out. Gotcha. Makes his own homebrew, but not a pub person. Okay, I guess that's fine.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's pretty well done. Wonder if they got a lot of like material about those old FMV games.
Know anything about a broken window at the pub round the back?
The pub, a broken window at the back. Yeah, I saw it was broken.
When was that?
I was in the pub on Monday with a college friend.
Knows about the window. Visited the pub Monday night with a friend. Who is the friend? We only have beer. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
Alright, I got a bunch of new items to shop around to people. I'll go back to the pub real quick. So nothing down here, right? Yeah. Hello.
Couple more questions, if that's okay. What do you know about this?
It's an advertisement. They had it designed by an agency, I think.
And when was that?
Last year sometime.
Which was designed last year.
Have you seen one of these before?
Is it meant to be black like that?
I think so.
No.
Nothing new here. I was hoping to get more out of her from these things. Ask Ryan about the mask. I'd certainly like to.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
To show the Atlas poster to James. Alright, so the idea light bulb icon is like just helping you keep track of which items everyone's seen. So that's helpful.
A few more questions, please. Ever seen one of these?
Seen them around college.
What do you know about it?
Not much. It's a business course. Ask Simon, he's on it.
You wouldn't be interested in that sort of thing? And you haven't discussed it with Simon?
Not really. Business doesn't interest me.
Not interested in business, this one. Oh, but he doesn't say that business doesn't interest me part. Sells the mirrors or doesn't make a profits. I have no idea. 6 p.m. on the first day, I guess?
Thank you. Probably be back later.
I don't think they've established it. Or if they did, I don't know where to find that. There must be a contradiction somewhere. Okay. So once you have shown everyone everything, that's when it says there must be a contradiction somewhere, and you have to figure out where it is. Okay. So the chief recommended asking about the breakage. I don't know if he's going to have anything new here, but... So I've been able to talk to Ryan. I guess you presumably just don't get anything then. Should be able to move around a little bit faster using this. See if there's anything new in Atlas. Assume this has come back at the next timestamp. Still nobody. Still need a flashlight. I think it's to let me know, like, hey, something has progressed time-wise, come back here at the next time step. Would be my guess, anyway. But you know to keep going further and further into those, you know? Post resigned by an agency last year. I like the strict about barring clients part. I already tried the very drunk and she kicks people out thing. $6:37 p.m. I already tried the hasn't seen a license before versus last saw Kate in the pub. Could try that. That's what I was talking about earlier about, like, do I need external information? Implies that they interacted, right? Right, so maybe it's not going to be one of those. Love to ask Ryan about the mask.
That's all for the moment, thank you.
So I also don't know yet if the chief's advice is always like telling you who to talk to find the contradiction, or if it's just like flavor. Oops. Talk to him yet. I think there's anything crazy with James. I assume it's not the same person. Then I assume it's not Simon again that has the contradiction.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
I only went to Alice once. It's been on a similar course. Monday night with a friend. Beer thing didn't work. Simon's cousin. Her usual self. Like the beer and wine and spirits one's going to become relevant later.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
I really don't think it's going to be Simon, but just out of an abundance of caution, I'll read through his ones again.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Really, I think how is it your only way to get to work if you just got the bike? They'd be like, oh, I used to walk. Also, doesn't see James, but only sold to James. I suppose that's consistent.
Thank you.
Everyone has commentary on the window. Alright, well, absent any other kind of hint as to where the contradiction is, I'm going to have to assume that it's something to do with Rebecca, since that's who the chief said I should focus on. So I'm just going to sit there for a second before I go check on James again.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Didn't know Kate. I feel like it has to do with one of these Kate ones. I really think that the implication is that she should know Kate better if she was a drunk at the pub all the time. Doesn't know who broke a window. See, and this is the other one, is like the timing lines up with the window is 6:30 p.m. and Kate was in the pub at 7 after it got broken, but I tried these already on Phoenix Wright theory, and they didn't match. So if I could like put 3 on here, that would be nice.
Aha.
Oh. All right,
So,
I see. Yeah.
You said Kate gave you £20 for a breakage, but you didn't have a breakage.
That's right.
Do you think the payment could have been for the broken window? Could it have been Kate who was arguing?
Well, I suppose it could have been. Yeah. It could have been
Okay,
Kate,
this is helping me to know how the
But you don't know
contradictions
who
are
she was
lined
arguing
out.
with.
No, I'm not sure.
I'll ask around. Not realizing Kate had broken the window. Rebecca really should have worked that out before now. Unless she did. But why would she lie about that? That's it for the time being. Thank you.
Let's talk to James.
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
Kate's argument.
Know anything about an argument at the pub last Friday?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Simon and Emma.
Ask you a couple more
Yeah,
things,
right.
please.
But it's kind of funny that you like keep talking to them over and over throughout the day.
Did you hear about an argument in the pub last Friday?
No, I wasn't there.
You weren't in the village?
No, I went home last Thursday night, actually, to see my
Look at
parents.
that last
But you do visit the pub.
What are you, a cartoon character?
Yeah, I mean, I know Rebecca quite well. We all went there quite a bit after college.
Home to see parents Thursday night. Knows Rebecca quite well. Alright, well that's insanely suspicious, but especially the Thursday night thing. Just trying to, like, match dates, that kind of a thing, right? Times.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Simon, buddy, what do you know about
questions,
this?
if you don't mind.
Know anything about an argument at the pub last Friday?
No, I didn't go to the pub last Friday.
What did you do after the course?
Just went home. Came here. Just came straight back.
Straight home after Atlas. So both last Friday.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
Later, dude. So I've talked to everyone about it now. Call the chief. Okay. So sometimes you just gotta do that, I guess. Fair enough.
Chief, me again. A few things have come up. I met someone called James Wilson. Bit of a dropout into witchcraft, magic, occult things. Makes scrying mirrors.
Chief's like, cool.
Scrying, Chief. It's an occult thing. Black painted glass. You're meant to stare into it until you see ghosts or something. Emma Bowman knew about it. They all know each other from college. Emma said he was selling these mirrors last Friday at the local market.
What was he doing Friday night?
I'm not sure. Said he couldn't remember the last time he saw Kate. Lives on his own, so I doubt he has an alibi, but I don't see any motive yet.
Well, look harder and double check where everyone was Friday night.
Right. Thanks, Chief.
We know where Simon was Friday night. There must be a contradiction somewhere.
Ask about a few more things, please.
Let's know about the argument. Been to the pub in over 2 months. Replay answer. How do I do that? I thought I did that on Friday, but maybe not. I assume I would put it in the text here. Didn't socialize with Kate. Didn't know about Simon's bike. Traded herbal tea for Simon's homebrew. Seen the poster at college. Doesn't know about the argument. I don't think I have anything from James, but... Yes, I tried that. I've been pressing the A button on sells the mirrors, doesn't make a profit, but nothing's happening. I can try using the mouse and clicking.
Now, what's all this stuff in the workshop? Paint and stencils and things like that?
Just a little sideline of mine.
Oh, you do picture framing.
They're black mirrors. Scrying mirrors.
Now, what's a scrying mirror?
Show you one if you want.
I assume that there's not going to be some text in the video that's not listed in the
Scrying
text of
goes
the
back
arguments.
centuries. The ancient Persians did it. This country pagans still practice it. The fortune tellers pretend to do it. That's what the crystal ball's all about. It's all scrying. The mirror's just one way of doing it.
But what is scrying?
Depends who you are. People do it for different reasons.
What sort of reasons?
Exploring your mind, clearing your mind, communicating with the dead.
Is that what you use them for, James? Communicating with the dead?
How they make them for other people these days.
And there's a market for these, is there?
Lots of people want to talk to the dead, even if they don't believe in it.
Do you make a profit on them?
I don't do it for the money.
How very charitable of you. Can I keep this?
Keep it.
Thank you. Okay, that's it for now.
You don't think that there's going to be clues in the interview that matter, that I can just depend entirely on the text?
Couple more questions, if that's okay?
What can do with Simon here? I assume whatever it is has to do with the new information I just got from Kate's argument, and that because she stumbled on her word, I should be focusing on her. I need to meta this game better. Like earlier with focusing on Rebecca, and here I had the intuition to focus on Emma. I was like, well, maybe it's not her. I want to see parents Thursday night for dates. Let's just do date to date. Oh, that's okay. Oh, because implying that she didn't come back home on Friday.
To see your parents on Thursday night, that right?
I didn't consider that one
you
because
said you saw James at the market on Friday.
No, I went to see my parents on Friday night.
What time did you go on Friday?
8 or 9.
And you didn't see Kate at all on Friday?
No.
You're not a very good liar, Emma.
Okay. I saw Kate.
Where?
At the pub we were arguing.
Go on. What were you arguing about?
I'd lent her £50 because she was desperate, and we were just arguing. It didn't really bother me. She just didn't have it.
And Kate broke the window?
Yes. She did things like that when she was angry.
Smash things?
Yes.
Well, that's not good.
So it was Emma arguing with Kate. But why didn't she want to admit it? In case it gave her a motive? Or something else?
So I'm going to have to, not let myself overthink it, I guess, because the whole thing, if she went home to see her parents, I was like, okay, well, maybe her parents live, 10 minutes away. And she was back Thursday evening and went to bed and then spent all day Friday. But no, there are implications that she was gone that whole time. Argued with Kate in the pub. Lent money to Kate because Kate needed it. Okay, well, it's got to be about the new stuff, presumably, right? Because this doesn't show up. It's still just Kate's argument. Unless if I back out
Thank you.
and it
Probably be back later.
advances the time, but I think last time it advanced the time, it was instant after the revelation. Okay. So I assume I still have more with Emma then. Lent money to Kate because Kate needed it. Knew Kate had bought a mirror. Where's she getting money to buy mirrors from? Desperate for cash. Okay, I guess not. Kate bought lots of new jewelry. That also doesn't work. There we go. Okay.
So you lent money to Kate because she was desperate, but she bought loads of jewellery and things. So why were you lending her money?
Well, no, it's because,
It wasn't about money, was it, Emma?
No.
Go on. What was it really about?
We were arguing because she was going to blackmail Ryan, the guy from Atlas, over an affair he was having, and then tell his wife if he didn't give her the money.
Oh, that's a lot.
Ryan's affair with Kate.
No, I don't know. I think he was having an affair with another student and Kate found out.
And why were you involved?
Because I didn't really agree with it. I didn't agree with what she was doing, even if he did have an affair.
Were you friends with Ryan?
No, I'd never met him.
You just thought Kate was wrong?
Yeah.
Not sure about this. Emma's either on a moral crusade, or there's another reason she was worried about Kate blackmailing Ryan.
Oh, I had to leave the argument and come back in to get new things here. Okay. So...
That's all for the moment, thank you.
Do we get a time advance? I have to learn, like... I think there's only one contradiction at a time, maybe?
Ask you a couple more
Okay,
things, please.
did not get a time advance, so... And she also didn't give me a new asset. So I think the only way characters can talk to each other is via them giving you an object on this list. If they add an argument onto the list, you have to stay with them, I think. So like when the guy gave me the advertising poster, Simon gave that to me, it let me crosstalk between the two of them with other characters. And same with James giving me the mirror. I guess they don't have to give you an item, they can give you like an entry that you can talk about, one of these notebook items. Kate wanted to blackmail Ryan over his affair, tried to persuade Kate not to blackmail Ryan, has never met Ryan. Hasn't she been to the seminar, though? Probably not, it probably has to do with Kate. Saw Kate on Friday, usual self, argumentative, drinking problem, didn't see Kate often. Knows about the broken pub window. Knows about it in general, but is she the one that did it? No. Blackmail Ryan. Don't blackmail Ryan. Alright, let's do each one by one here. So, wanted to blackmail Ryan. Friday, not Thursday. Okay, so that updates this. Gotcha. Do I have something else with Friday and Kate? I guess these are both updated now, aren't they? Argued last Friday. Okay, so it updates it so that I don't mark those two. Because I guess they were a redundant contradiction. But I was only able to approach it from one angle. I assume also that each contradiction can only be solved in one way. Alright, the blackmail doesn't make sense, so maybe it's this one. Okay, that's fine.
You said you went to an Atlas meeting with Simon.
Yes.
That's interesting, because I happen to know
But it's
that
not
Ryan is
guaranteed
the main
that Ryan was the
Atlas.
one.
But you say you never met him.
Ugh.
Why did you say you don't know him?
Okay, I need to tell you something. I just need to make sure Simon doesn't find
I
out.
need to rename this game Might Be a Contradiction.
Anything he doesn't have to hear.
And you can't tell Rebecca either.
Go on.
Okay, so the affair that happened was between Ryan and I.
Pretty big lie.
I was having the affair, and Kate knew.
So Kate was blackmailing both of you?
No, she didn't care about me. It was part of the course, you see, having to take all these risks. She thought it was funny to turn her back on Ryan. She thought I wouldn't care.
But you did.
Yes, I was already with Simon when Ryan and I, and I didn't want Simon finding out, and Kate thought that he wouldn't, but I didn't want her risking it. And then if Rebecca found out, then Simon would definitely have found out, and then it would have blown up and it would have just been a big mess.
So you just argued and what?
Well, she just stormed off and broke a window.
And that was it? You didn't see her again that night?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. I promise.
Well, take that promise. Okay, it automatically jumps to the time. Gotcha.
7 o'clock.
So I never have to back out to trigger
Ryan's
that.
a bit of Lothario, is he? I think it's time I met this Ryan Rand face to face.
Time I met this Ryan. Yeah, I guess maybe. So I think there's been 5 contradictions so far. Of them, 3 of them weren't 100% guaranteed, because at no point did they say that Ryan was the sole lecturer. So her saying oh, I've been to one course before wasn't a guarantee that she hadn't met Ryan, right? And the same thing with, oh, I went home to visit my parents on Thursday. She could have that could have been 10 minutes away. And I wonder if they left out that extra detail to make it so that you're not 100% positive, because that would make the game too easy, or they would have to include that detail in the summary, and then that would make it too easy. So I'm working my head around it.
Questions, if you don't mind.
All right, nothing new in red with Rebecca.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
Go to the previous dead ends has been productive so far. Nothing there. Oh, there's a lot of those. What does the light bulb say? What if Ryan's in his office? That's cool that they got all the recordings at different times a day. Hey!
Ryan!
Yes.
Just yell at him.
Detective Inspector Jenks. I'm conducting an investigation in the area. Wouldn't mind asking you a few
Okay,
questions.
recognize that guy.
Come in, Inspector.
Thank you.
Yeah, their poor lab mics.
I'd better not, eh?
So you wanted to speak to me?
I believe that Kate Vine was a student at Atlas.
Kate Vine? Well, yes, she was. All of this has been thoroughly investigated, Inspector. It was suicide.
Well, we have reason to believe there may be rather more to it than that.
Really? Well, then, in that case, I'd be prepared to assist in any way possible.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Look at all this red stuff. Wonderful.
I believe the last time you saw Kate Vine was at the pub last Friday. Then you came straight back with some of the students. Is that right?
Yes, I like to have a glass of port or two after a long day, and benefits of being married to the landlady.
How did she seem that night?
The landlady?
Kate.
Oh, Kate. Well, she was her usual self, drunk.
Okay.
That was usual.
It was for her, yes. I mean, it didn't impair her ability, though. She was a very bright star, lots of potential, very enthusiastic.
So she seemed to be enjoying the course?
As far as anybody could tell, yes.
When did you first meet her?
When she joined, about 3 months ago.
And you hadn't met her before then?
No.
So you didn't suspect there was anything wrong?
Well, do you mean, did I expect her to drown herself? Of course I didn't inspect her. It was quite a shock. Nobody expected that.
Atlas meeting, drunk at the meeting 3 months ago, enjoyed the course and appeared happy.
Have you seen this before?
Oh man, I gotta bust out the mask.
Not that I recall.
I gotta get
You
his
don't know
reveal.
whether Kate had lost this or not.
No, I've never seen it before, sorry.
Go straight to the mask. Tell me all about this.
Can you tell me about this?
Haven't seen that for a while. I had a friend who used to make them for us for the course. He passed away last year.
What does the symbol mean?
It's borrowed from paganism. It's the symbol of the triple goddess. The mother, maiden, and crone, represented by the waxing and waning of the moon. It's an ancient symbol. It predates Christianity. Some people say that it dates back to Paleolithic times.
And is that relevant to the course?
Well, no. I mean, it's a symbol we dabbled with, but it's not particularly relevant. We don't use it on the course, no.
Triple goddess. Seen a couple of those typos. Symbol not used on the course. Okay. I think the actor who's playing Jenks, loves busting out that mask in a different way every time.
Does Simon Thompson ride a bike, do you know?
I think so, yes. I think he drives as well, but I might be mistaken.
Defense. Simon does ride a bike.
Have you tried Simon's homebrew?
Does he make homebrew? No, I haven't had the pleasure, sorry.
Know what this is?
Yes. It's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol that we use on the course. It's supposed to represent freedom from the chains of your ancestry.
Have you ever bought one of these?
I haven't, but I've seen the students wearing them.
Mirrors mean anything?
What do you know about the broken window at the back of the pub?
Oh, Rebecca told me about it. I don't know how it got smashed, though. I told her to tape over it. We can't have anybody cutting themselves. You have to be very health and safety conscious these days.
Have you seen one of these before?
I believe that looks like a scrying mirror to me.
You have seen one before?
Well, I used to have one myself, actually, along with lots of other bits and pieces of that nature. Silly things, you know.
Really?
Yes, when I was in my teenage years, I had quite an obsession with that kind of thing. I was a very somber child.
Pretty cool,
not
sir.
that you could tell. Always playing fantasy games, reading books about that kind of malarkey, you know.
What sort of books did you read?
Well, books on black magic, not the chocolates. Witchcraft, satanic rituals, that kind of thing. I grew out of it, of course.
But you're not into that sort of thing now.
Of course I'm not. I don't need to believe in the supernatural, Inspector. The natural world is far more interesting. Don't you think so?
This guy is a piece of work.
Tell me about this.
It's the first one we ever had made. We had it designed by an agency after we'd spent weeks trying to find a name for this place.
It took you weeks?
Don't be like that, Inspector. I thought it was a rather grand name. Actually, if I'm being honest, I plucked it out of thin air one night in the George while I was having a few gin and tonics. Well, actually, somebody left a book and I stole it.
You're gonna explicitly mention Atlas Shrugged? Atlas name picked randomly.
Do you know anything about an argument in the pub last Friday?
And what time?
I believe it wasn't long after the pub opened.
No. I usually leave for the Manor House about 6. I start preparations around 6:30. I like to get a head start.
Doesn't know about the argument in the pub. Alright, well, we need to talk to everybody, presumably. Although I don't think he's given me any new assets to talk with other people.
Probably be back later.
Try the door on the right. Is there something special in here now? Nope. Better see Simon again.
There you go. Come on. Cute.
It's a nice apron. I have a friend who looks almost exactly like Simon.
Smells nice. What is that?
Chili pork.
I had no idea you were a cook.
Oh, no, I used to be more into it. No, I don't do it so much. I used to grow my own herbs and everything.
Not here.
No, at the farmhouse.
It's 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. rather.
That's where James lives. Yeah, we used to share a house together. The farmer used to let us use a corner of his greenhouse to grow stuff.
I didn't know you knew James that well.
Well,
seems
didn't really get on.
Where are the greenhouses?
Well, it's just through the farmyard at the back.
Interesting.
Interesting. Was there a slight color to... Or is it just... No? Interesting. Some of these are highlighted slightly green. Slightly, I think the slightly red is this is irrelevant. And you can't ask about it. Okay, so that didn't actually give me any new items to ask about.
Uh, that's it for the time being. Thank you.
I'm done with Emma too, but let's see.
Thank
She's
you.
got nothing new
Probably be
either.
back later.
There's another greenhouse at Abbey Farm. Okay. Other more different greenhouse.
Simon mentioned another greenhouse on the farm. Must be up the hill over there.
Go into the large greenhouse. Search. What do we get?
I wonder if James knows this is here. Don't know what it is, but be interesting to see what he says about it.
Sweet. Well, can I not do it from here?
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Packet of dried leaves. What's this?
Could you tell me what these are, please? I found them in the greenhouse.
Been snooping around on the farm, have we?
It's called investigating, James.
Yeah.
Look it up.
It's just mint. Mint leaves. For cooking.
Yeah, I heard you were a bit of a budding chef.
Dabble a bit. Won a few competitions.
Very impressive. So you normally just leave packets of mint lying around?
Must have dropped it.
Must have dropped it. Contains mint leaves. Somehow I doubt that.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
I want to know what this packet of leaves is. Also things you haven't asked Simon, Evan, Rebecca, and Ryan about yet. Oh, presumably the leaves. Okay.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
What do you know about this weird shit?
Do you know what these are?
Could open it up and smell it to see if it's mint.
Oh, magic mint. Where did you find this?
Magic mint.
Salvia divinorum. I used
Salvia.
to grow it years ago. It makes you trip.
In what way?
It's a hallucinogenic and legal. Quite a dangerous combination, really.
Do you use it?
Me? No. No, I don't even take medicines. I like to stay pure.
A weird thing to say.
I didn't expect Rebecca to know about growing drugs. I know she claims not to use them herself, but I'm not so sure.
Magic mint.
Be
Well,
back later on, if that's okay.
we already know James is full of shit then, since it gave me another entry for that. So let's do that. James. What is it with people in small-town murder mysteries named James?
A few more questions, please. Thank you. Ever heard of Salvia divinorum, James?
What's that, skin cream?
It's not a skin cream, no. It's a plant.
Really? Don't know much about plants.
So you've never heard of Salvia?
No.
What about the mint leaves? Apparently not. I was really expecting to get more from that. What about your herbal tea? No. Okay.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
All right. Talk to everybody and then just talk to Rebecca.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Know what these are?
No. Look a bit like sage leaves.
Haven't seen them before, though.
Not at all, no.
Leaves could be sage.
Ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
Salvia divinorum?
Magic mint, same thing.
Oh, yeah, you mean the drug? Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, ever tried it?
Well, once or twice, yeah. But it's not really my sort of thing. It messes with your brain. I've never tried any other drugs either. Well, nothing like that. Nothing hallucinogenic.
Let's try.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
A few times.
You know what these are, by any chance?
No. Sorry. I don't know anything about plants or things like that, but you should ask Rebecca. She used to live on a farm. She'd know.
She did know.
Ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's a drug, isn't it?
Yeah. Hallucinogenic drug. Ever tried it?
No, I've never taken any illegal substances.
Is that so? All right, I
Thank
gotta
you. Probably
talk
be back
to
later.
Ryan about it. I'm back, dude. You still standing by that mirror?
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind. Do you know what this is?
Looks like chopped tea bags to me. What is it?
I just thought you might know.
I don't know anything about plants, Inspector. What you should do is ask Rebecca. She knows far more about these things than I do. Messy things, growing things.
Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
No. What is it?
It's a hallucinogenic plant. A legal one. At least for the moment.
I've no
really?
interest in drugs, Inspector. My job. That's the only drug I need. As trite as that may sound.
Do you know any students who may have used hallucinogens?
No.
All of them?
No, my students aren't interested in that kind of thing. Besides, no one is allowed drugs or alcohol onto the site. I don't think anyone has ever brought drugs to Atlas.
Do you have any medicines on site at all?
No, we're not allowed. Insurance purposes.
Drugs or alcohol on Atlas premises. Doesn't keep medicines on site. Okay. Well,
That's all for the moment.
I don't think
Thank
I have
you.
anything obvious at the moment. Try the woods again. Okay. So as long as it doesn't say there must be a contradiction, that means I still have bullshit to do and I can keep using the light bulb. Which I guess I should do, because without using the light bulb, you wouldn't know to like talk to the chief at a specific time step. Salvia's unpleasant. Oh no, I've heard of salvia before, I just didn't know that it was legal in the UK.
Mind not defacing public property, please?
What's it to you?
Well, I'm a policeman.
And that's supposed to make what difference exactly?
It means that you do exactly what I tell you to do.
Or
Except when
what?
James left.
Or you arrest me.
No, I'll give you a fine this time.
So, if I do something that you don't like, I have to give you some money. What happens if you do something that I don't like?
Yes.
You're gonna give me some money?
Look, I do not have time to discuss it at the moment. Can you just go?
Pathetic.
Wow. It's pretty well done.
What a prize brat. But why would he carve that into a tree? Either he's a die-hard rock fan, or there's more to that symbol than meets the eye.
Try the woods again. Okay, now I can talk to people about the symbol. Okay. What's up?
What are you? Private eye?
No, I'm a police inspector.
Who are you looking for?
I'm investigating a death in the village.
That student, then. They did one last year, too. Same place.
Did what?
Drowned a student. Ask that psycho about it. He runs that business cult thing up at the big house. Bunch of nut jobs.
Hey, what was the student's name?
Liam something. Oh, sod.
Thanks, Forrest Drunk.
Atlas's reputation precedes them. I think I might call the
Oh,
station.
immediate
Find
call.
out a bit more about this Liam.
It's fair. Forrest Drunk.
Mike, it's Jenks.
Oh, Jenks, I thought you'd clocked off tonight.
Yeah, the chief's put me on a case tonight, the Edenton girl.
Friday night, you poor sod. I thought that was sorted out anyway.
I wish it was. Listen, are you near a computer?
I can be, yeah, go on.
Do you know anything about a death last year? Someone called Liam in Edenton Village?
Don't remember it. Hang on, let's have a look. Edenton Village. Yeah, Liam Rogers. Says suicide last year.
Suicide?
Hang on, 2 suicides in 2 years, both on Edenton. Blimey, you've got your work cut out, Jenksy.
Yeah, don't I know it?
Right, well, good luck with that and see you Monday.
Thanks, Mike.
Alright, let's start talking to everybody here. Bunch of new entries.
Ask about a few more things, please.
Liam's death.
If I did that, would it mean anything to you?
Yeah, it's a Satanism symbol. Satanists use it.
Have you ever seen anyone using it?
Is it?
Lots of people. Politicians, presidents, CEOs.
Have you ever seen anyone local using it?
Not that I remember.
Did you know Liam?
Liam who?
Liam who died.
You mean Liam who killed himself?
Yeah.
He was in my year, on a different course.
What course was Liam on?
Can't remember, not mine.
What was yours?
Plant science.
Plant science.
First time I knew about Liam was when he killed himself.
Right, so you didn't meet him?
Dude, Or we had like 3 contradictions that were like, that's marginal. Are you kidding me?
Aha. So, your degree is in plant science, but you don't seem to know anything about plants.
Well, still got a lot to learn.
So you're still saying
I don't
you've never heard
get the
of
sense anything will be
salvia?
supernatural in
Say
this.
that.
So you have.
Maybe.
And you do grow it.
Yeah, it's legal. Why not?
What do you do with it?
I use it for explorative purposes, meditation.
And does this involve anybody else?
Why?
Do you sell it or give it to anybody else?
No.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just for me, nobody else.
And that's the only drug you grow, is it?
Feel free to go and look if you want.
It's okay, I'll look later.
I still called him on his bullshit
Sure,
for...
I believe that, James. Then again, would someone growing illegal drugs bother growing a legal one?
Private use only, yeah. So I tried calling him out on the doesn't know about plants traded for herbal tea. Let me see if it works here. Oh, it was private use, right? Nice.
Aha.
Got ahead of myself on that one
When
earlier.
you say herbal tea, do you mean salvia?
Probably.
So you traded salvia tea with Simon for his homebrew.
So?
So why did you say you didn't give salvia to anybody else? Did you give it to anybody else?
Silly?
How many people did you give it to? Did you give it to Kate?
No.
How about Liam?
I didn't have anything to do with him dying, if that's what you mean.
So you did give him salvia?
Yes, I gave him salvia because he asked for it, but that's not what killed him.
Well, he committed suicide, James, because of psychological issues that probably weren't helped by him trying hallucinogenic drugs.
Didn't commit suicide. You don't know anything about him. You don't know what happened.
Okay, so what happened then?
Do you even know about Third Eye?
Uh-oh.
Go on.
You don't know about Third Eye. If you don't know about Third Eye, you know nothing about Liam's death. I mean, forget salvia.
Fine, tell me then.
Third Eye was a cult. We had our very own psycho cult operating right here from our village hall. And I got rid of them, single-handed. I'm the one who got rid of Third Eye. Did they tell you that at the station?
Okay, start again. They were what?
You don't know anything, do you? Look. They were reeling in students, pretending to be some
Give me
sort
those
of happy life
Duracells.
course, you know. We can make your life better sort of crap. Then they were putting everyone through this brainwashing program to make them compliant.
There's that symbol.
And selling them on. It's all there.
What do you mean, selling them on?
Selling them. Like objects, commodities.
To who?
To anyone who could afford them. Top politicians, famous celebrities, wealthy businessmen, you name it.
What for?
You don't get it, do you? Third Eye were making and selling slaves. They were black market slave traders. They were wiping people's personalities using ECT, brainwashing, cocktails of hard drugs, deliberately turning them into perfect
Nice.
slaves. You know how much slaves are worth on the black market these days?
No.
Millions. And I'm talking per slave. That's why anyone who stood up to them and threatened to go public like Liam was just killed off. They didn't give a damn.
So you're saying Liam was murdered by Third Eye?
Exactly what I'm saying. That's why I started looking into it. They were all saying it was suicide, but there's no way.
So, did you ever actually meet Liam?
I found out about him.
And how did you find out about
This guy really
all
opens
this
up when
other
you
stuff?
call him on his tea trading
Obvious.
habits.
Tell. I met some of the students. You could see straight away there was something wrong. They were like zombies. You know, I can tell when someone's got ECT damage or when they've been through mind conditioning. It's just obvious. I mean, US military used all these techniques back in the 50s. It's all documented. You can read about it. They showed all the same signs.
So, did you ever actually go to a meeting?
No, but I knew what went on.
How?
From what people said who'd been through it.
Okay, so do you know anyone I could speak to who did go through it?
Well, no. Look, it doesn't matter. Why did they close down if it wasn't true? They just closed down and disappeared overnight after I put all the flyers up. Bit of a coincidence.
But that was just after Liam died.
Yeah,
And do you think that had anything to do with it?
maybe, but it was the flyers that forced them to close.
Okay. Do you mind if I keep this?
Yeah, you investigate it. It'll all come out. Third Eye definitely killed Liam.
Well, that was a lot to take in. Does James really believe all this stuff? This is the first I've heard about Third Eye. Question is, what's their connection with Atlas, if there is one?
Do not join this dangerous cult. Yeah, who knew all you had to do to get this, like, tight-lipped guy to spill his guts?
Back later on, if that's okay.
Call him on his tea trade. Alright. I think I've got new things to talk to everybody. Simon, Emma, Rebecca, and Ryan. Okay. Let's go. What do you know about Third Eye?
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
What do you know about this symbol?
If I did this, would that mean anything to you?
Why, is it meant to mean something?
No,
Like
it's
metal.
okay. What do you know about Liam?
You mean Liam who took his life? He used to play in a band, Black Rock or something? No, Black Stone. Very gothic. I used to let them play in here sometimes at the weekends. They were quite good.
Did you know there was anything wrong? I mean, why he might have...
No, I didn't know him very well.
Have you seen this before?
Don't take any notice of that.
Why?
James Wilson is a fantasist. He spends his time pretending to cast spells in the woods. He's not exactly a stable person. And, I heard that he was involved with growing cannabis.
Really?
Well, don't quote me on that.
So you don't think there's any truth at all to this?
None at all.
No truth to the flyer. Gross cannabis. Alright, let's
Thank
just
you. Probably be back later.
talk to everyone before we start messing with contradictions, unless if it's obvious, like the plant science one. Not the reefer.
Questions, please. If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
No. Why?
It's okay. Thanks. What do you know about a student called Liam? Committed suicide last year.
Only that I didn't know him really well.
Have you seen this?
Yeah. It was all over college last year. James made it. Idiot.
So you don't agree with what I'm saying?
No, I don't agree with anything James says. He's absolutely crazy. He thinks that the government has been controlled by aliens and that we're all bugged. He's nuts.
Yeah. Iron Maiden. Excellent.
That's it for the time being. Thank you. If I did, this... Would that mean anything to you?
Who did you see doing that?
Someone in the woods, carving it into a tree.
That was Kyle. It's a guy from the course. He's an idiot.
Fucking Kyle.
Where does he live?
I can't remember. Somewhere outside the village. The three fingers thing is something the students started doing. It's something from the course. The three freedoms.
The what?
The three freedoms. It's from the course. It's a phrase.
Free to be free.
Free yourself from the things that are holding you back, right? Things that stop you being successful.
What are they?
There's fear of failure, guilt, and a doubting, a self-doubt.
You believe that?
Yeah. Guilt ruins lives. It stops you looking forward. It serves no practical purpose. It's basically destructive.
Right.
Let me let your
Free to
thumb
be
ring.
free. Not the most original slogan.
Oh,
But I
I'm
wonder
gonna
how
show
far
that to other
this
people.
freedom goes. What do you know about Liam?
Yeah, I heard about him.
But you didn't know him?
No, I know he went to college, but didn't really know him. It's sad, though.
No, Liam, but heard about him. Guilt doesn't serve any useful purpose.
Have you seen this before?
Oh, is this the thing that James did? Yeah, I've heard of it.
What do you know about all this? A third eye, I think they were called?
I don't really know anything about it. I mean, I've heard about Liam's death, but all I know about Three Eyes or whatever is on this flyer.
So you hadn't heard about Third Eye?
No, sorry.
Okay,
Thank
so
you. Probably be back later.
Probably going to tell me that I got to go talk to everyone about the 3 freedoms. Yeah, alright, well, I'll just keep going in order and then keep looping back through them here. Ryan, buddy, pal. I've got the symbol on that mask, and it's also on the third eye thing.
I'll ask you a couple more things, please. If I did this, would that
We had to
mean
fix his
anything to you?
hand to do it.
It's a devil's sign, isn't it? Is that what you're getting at, Inspector?
This is not something you use on the course.
Of course it's not something we use on the course, Inspector. I don't even know what that could possibly mean, exactly.
Isn't that literally not true? Like, maybe there's something else that'll reveal that.
Can you tell me a bit about the phrase free to be free?
Free to be free, my favourite motto. Well, we teach our students that people, they suffer from excessive guilt, don't they? Excessive self-criticism, excessive doubt. Evils of excess, we call them. And we tell our students that if they rid themselves of these evils, then they're free to realise their full potential.
Who came up with all this?
I have a background in psychology.
Of course you do.
Yeah, don't look so surprised, Inspector. There's an intellect lurking in here.
When did you come up with the phrase?
When we were based at the village hall. When I say we, I came up with the phrase. Dad's more the money man.
And very successful at it too, I hear.
Oh, he's successful, but he's not a creative man. Dad suffers from a lack of imagination.
Surprised that
What can you
doesn't
tell
go
me
with
about
the freedom phrase,
Liam.
but...
You mean the boy who committed... Very unfortunate, isn't it?
Did you know him?
Oh, yes. Well, when I say know him, I met him in the pub. Seemed very happy sort of person. Well, I say he seemed happy. He can't have been, can he?
What do you know about this?
Not much.
So you've never seen this before? You don't know anything about Third Eye?
Well, I don't remember seeing it now.
You don't recognize any of the symbols on it?
Yeah, sorry.
Any of the symbols? Are you kidding me, dude? Where is that thingy? There it is. Triple goddess.
Aha.
Oh, the aha.
Ryan, you've just told me all about the moon symbols on the mask.
Still don't know about
then you're
the
claiming you
hand
don't
symbol,
know anything
though.
about the symbols on the flyer. It's all the same thing.
Oh, actually, yes. Sorry, yes, yes, I do remember that.
So what did you know about Third Eye?
Oh, not much, really. Never came into contact with them.
That explanation was way too short. Ryan's definitely hiding something.
Like the mask on the flyer was somebody else, yeah. That would make sense. All right, future Marstead,
that's all for the moment.
you just
Thank you.
got a contradiction on Ryan, but no follow-up from it. I think the formula so far is that whenever you get a contradiction on somebody and that doesn't result in you getting another piece of evidence to show to another person, there's usually something else you can say to them, or you have to talk to somebody else to get new evidence to progress it further. So if you press the light bulb here, it should tell you, I think it's just a hand phrase that you have to show. The Atlas Freedom phrase. Okay, call the chief, talk to Emma, James, and Rebecca about the phrase, and then I think Ryan's probably the one that's most likely to have a contradiction based on the way the game's worked up to this point, but it could be somebody else. Who knows? Good luck. Save game 1, huh? This game's cool. Thanks, Brutus. We'll be back in a few minutes with Supreme Commander, Forged Alliance.